Hey guys, it's Ryan with Merplan Consulting. Today I'm going to show you how to use Sketchup, a free online tool, to create a floor plan of your event space. This is very useful if you're doing a layout for said event space. You can accurately place your tables and chairs, go into quick 3D mode, spin around. It's a great way to visualize how you're going to use your space, to measure out spaces between your tables, and to create the best traffic flow possible for your guests. So we create these custom templates for all different event spaces, and then we teach the event planners, the venue organizers, how to interact with and use those templates. So I'm going to show you how we would start. We're going to create a new template here. And let's get into a top-down view. And I'm using some keyboard shortcuts. H will pan. You have a lot of shortcuts here, and then you can come over and use more features if you expand that. So I'm going to start there, and then let's say you have a 30 by 50 foot space. Okay, so draw your square, 30 foot, comma, 50 foot, enter. There it is. So that is basic layout of your space. Okay, let's say we want to put some doors in here. People can get in. So let's find this midpoint. And spacebar gets back to your pointer. So let's come over here, and we're going to want to draw an arc. Yeah, just a simple arc. Oh, one more thing we need to do, get a L for line tool. Sorry, T for tape. And let's go 3 foot and make a mark, and go this way 3 foot and make a mark. And so you have your mark here and here. Now we're going to take this from our center point. Oops, wrong way. Hit escape to get off of that. Start here, go to your center point, and that will swing out your arch. Okay, and when it snaps to the green line like that, you know that you are in line with that axis. Okay, let's go back and grab our arc tool. We're going to start from there, come inward, arc out until it turns green. L for a line tool. Boom. Now we can delete this. And we could delete these guide points also. You can come in there. It's going to be a little tough to click on those. Oh, there it is. Whoops. If you do something you didn't mean to do, just hit the back button and go back from it. I'm just going to leave those other 2 guide points. Cool. So now we have our doors. Everything's flat because we're just drawing this on a 2D model. And you can zoom in with the mouse wheel like that. Move the model around with H. That's your, your pan tool is H right here. And you have move there for individual items, rotate for individual items, and so on and so forth. Lots of tools. We're not going to get into all the tools right now at first, but this software is fantastic, and in my experience with event planning, I have used this, our team has used it, and it's made planning so much easier. I think that's still, did I get it? Yep, I got that one. Okay. Thing was just sticking out there bugging me. Alright, let me see if I can get this one now. No. If I get it, it's not even going to look look like I highlighted anything. I think that's that again. Okay, doesn't matter. So you have your space. Now do we want to put some windows in here? So let's imagine, let's grab our tape tool, and let's say, 10 feet back, there's a set of windows, and they're 3 feet wide. All right, let's do the same thing from the back wall. Let's just say this is just a large open event space like a gym or a fellowship hall. So let's go 10 feet. Whoops, that wasn't the right kind of line. There we go. 10 feet, 3 feet. And then between those, we're going to find the midpoint, and we'll put in another set of windows here. Actually, there's that midpoint right there. So let's zoom in on that. And let's see if we can come out. No, we don't want to come out that way. One and a half feet. Yeah, I can't see where that went, so let's go back off of that. The line tool is a great way to use to just make a small line if you need to show where your midpoints are. There and there. Nice. Then you can move in this way and pull off the tape tool. 1.5 feet. 1.5 feet. So then we have our locations for 6 windows that we're going to put in here. Now I'm just making up this space. This isn't a real space that I know of. It's just a simple one to show how you can use this software. So now let's make a little window here. Yeah, that's coming in 3 feet. Let's actually push this to the outside. And we'll go 3 feet by 3 inches. How about that? That'll make all those nice and consistent. Let's grab this tool again. And 3 feet, 3 inches. When I put those values in, you can look down here to the right. It'll put them in the dimensions box for whatever you're working on. So you don't have to try to drag that to get it to be the exact dimensions that you want. That would be kind of tough. So just drag it, click, and before you move off of that, 3 feet, 3 inches. There it is. All right, let's do the windows on the other side. Oh, that did 3 feet and 3 feet. We don't want that. 3 feet, 3 inches. There we go. So it's easy to go back if you make a mistake in Sketchup. Just hit that back button. 3 inches. And one more. SketchUp's a very flexible software. You can do 3D models, 2D models. You can add as many layers as you want. Let's see, let me go back on that. See if that'll let me change that. I gotta hit that first. Actually, let's just go back first and start over. Still doesn't look right. 3 feet, 3 inches. There we go, now I got it. So now we can just delete these guidelines, click on them until they turn blue. Delete, delete, H to move, spacebar to select, delete, and delete. All right. Cool. Now you have our meeting space. I would save this often, very often. We're going to call this sample room layout. Sample floor plan template for event diagramming. There we go. That's a mouthful. So now that we have our space, we want to draw some things to go in here. So here we are in the 3D warehouse. So this is pretty cool. It has thousands of items that you can load right into your model, and you don't have to draw all of these. These have a lot of detail: plants, chairs, tables. We're going to go really simple here at first. Let's go search for a 6-foot folding table, and here it is. Cool. Let's download that right into the model. And again, this is free to interact with and to use. So you see it starts us out with this big box around this table. We want to get rid of that because we don't want that to interfere with spacing for anything else. So right click on this. Oops. Get back to the pointer tool. Right click. We're going to explode that component. Then we're going to grab this and just move it away from that. Now that box has gotten smaller. Cool. And we're good to go with this. So let's measure this first. Most folding tables are 30 inches wide. Some are just 2 foot. So that's 30. Confirm your measurements when you're putting things in your model, because they could be off just a tad. That looks good. So now I'm going to grab this foot. I'm actually going to grab the corner right there. And let's go in here and place it right on that edge and look down, and you can see that it is sitting right on that floor. It's not floating off of it. So that's great. That's just what we want. Grab our move tool. Sometimes if you grab it from the top to move it, it'll try to put the top down on that surface. So I would grab it at the bottom corner and then just move it around that way. So cool. You're going to want to have a table by itself, because if you're setting up an event and you want like a buffet line of just tables for serving, or if you want a single table in the back or two for drinks, you're going to want to be able to draw these without any chairs around them. So as it is right now, it's highlighted. I grab my pointer tool by clicking spacebar. I'm going to hover over this and control copy, control C. It's going to be command C if you're on a Mac. Then I'm going to come over here and control or command V. Now you've got a copy of that table. Awesome. So this one by itself, let's circle that, right click. And so that's already showing that it is a component. So let's look at when we click that to edit that. I'm not seeing any other components in the drawing. It's actually really accurate. The sides actually have those scallops in real life. It's pretty cool. This is a Lifetime brand table that they put in this model. All right, so let's get off of that. Let's click this again. Now we could make this unique. Let me show you what happens then. So we made it unique. Now we're circling it. Now let's make it a component, and that way we can name it whatever we want. So just select your name. 6-foot folding table. Cool. Create that. It did that for us again. that spacing. So let's go back from that. All right, so now we're back to just having that. We don't want that extra space there. So that's going to mess you up. So this is probably still a component. Edit component. Let's make it unique. Let's move it way over here. So that we're not picking up anything unseen. You have to get all the way around something to select it like that. Edit component, explode. So we could explode. Okay, so the component is just the table itself. All right, so we don't have to mess with that. So it's not a component now. Let's grab that, make it a component. We can name it that, create. Great, there we are. So there's our 6-foot folding table as a component by itself. So again, that's great if you need to put these, and you can go Control C, Control V. If you need to put these in the model, Control V, real quick and dirty like that, Control V. Boom, there's your buffet serving line. Now we are creating this template now, which is taking longer. It's about 2 feet and a few inches. You want to have about 3 feet behind there for your serving staff, but that's okay for now, for the purposes of what we're demonstrating. All right, so we've got this one that is separate. Let's make it unique because we're going to add some things to it. So let's go back to 3D Warehouse. Now instead of folding table, let's go with padded chair. All right, we're going to load some more in there. And look over these padded chair designs and see what you like. I like this one because it's kind of like what we use in our main facility. So I'm going to download this to the model and put it right there. Now you see this is on this weird large white base for some reason. We don't want that. We want this by itself. So let's click to explode that. M to move. Whoops. Let's see if I can just grab. No, I have to click in first. There we go. M to move that right out of there. Okay. Now we should be able to drag and delete that. Don't miss those two little guys. Come on, what are you doing there? Okay, well that's part of this unit still. Explode. We're going to move that. It's just not pulling out of that. What if we move this now? Okay, now that's moving independent of this. Let's delete that. Just want this to be on a small footprint. There we go. Great. So that's a small footprint by itself. So now what I would do, drag that, make unique, drag that, still showing, and we can explode this, but that's probably just the individual pieces of the chair. So like that, that. We don't want to do that. Make a component. Here we go. add a chair. So now you have your 6-foot table as a component. You can click on something and go to Entity Info. So there's what it is, 6-foot folding table. Let's say we have 4 of those in the model. Now this is the default one that we loaded into the model because it has that lifetime name as part of it. So what do you do if you want to add the chairs around the table? Well, let's grab this. Let's get it from the bottom and move that in there. Now we also want to Control C, Control V, put one down here at this end of the table. Alright, we're going to slide it right up under those legs. Alright, Q, and you get a little rotational tool here. QQ. Alright, and then we can just slide it right up to the legs like that. Get a position where you like it. When I do these, I like to have them about like that, a couple inches away from the end of the table. Click out here to deselect that, and then we're going to orbit into this one. Grab that, M to move it. You see how it pops up there? That just came off the floor. So get it back here to the floor. Maybe grab the top of it. Grab it somewhere different. You can see you're in the model there. Back up a little bit. See what this looks like. Pretty close. Now I'm not having to get these absolutely perfect just for the cause of this demonstration, but when you are building a model, you do want these to be spaced out correctly. Let's put that back in. Great. So we still have a model selected in our copy function. So let's get a little bit let's make some space here, and we're going to Control V. Oh, don't want to do that actually, because I'll show you why. Watch this. Q, and rotate that bad boy to the red line. Click out here to deselect. I'm going to select it again. Control C and Control V. So now you already have those turned the correct way, and you don't have to turn each one on its own. So that's being a little weird. Let's do a top-down view. Sometimes if you can't move something the way you want to, you may just need to hit O for orbit and change your view so that you can push it the direction you want to push it for whatever it is you're doing with your model. Sometimes SketchUp's just a little weird like that, and you have to do that. You can see those look pretty even from the top down. Very cool. All right, we're almost there, guys. 2 more chairs. Select Control V right there. Q to rotate it. That line turn green. Control copy. Control V. Let's go ahead and slide that up to the table about like that. O for orbit, rotate down, spacebar to select, M to move. It's really easy interacting with these models once you learn the keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so now this chair is out a little farther, and this one's in a little closer than those are, so let's balance that out. H, slide this whole thing over, M, move you in a little bit. Select M, we're going to move you out a little bit. Select over here. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's get down at a closer level. Great. Pretty good. Now you could hit T for tape and then grab this and then snap a line out for the backs of your chairs to come to if you need to be really precise. So that's what's cool about this software. It'll let you do that. Whoops. There we go, kind of like that. And see, that snaps to the back. But you can set these guide points with your tape measure, and I'm just hitting escape to get off of that. You can set those guide points like that. All right, so we have our event space. Let's rotate back around. We have our space. We have our just regular 6-foot table. We've made a component. Now click spacebar to get back to the pointer, and you're going to click and drag all of those, okay? And it has all 7 of those pieces, the 6 chairs and the table. Then we're going to right click, make that a component. Let's do 6-foot table with all chairs. Actually, before we do this, I'm going to show you another option. I know we just moved these into position, but let's grab this guy, get him out of here, grab this guy, get him out of here. Because what if you want to line your tables up end to end, okay, and put the ends together and only have chairs on either side? What if you don't want chairs on the end? So let's make this a component first. Make. Six-foot table with 4 chairs. Great. Okay, now grab that, control copy, control paste it right here. Now let's move this guy right back in here to the table. We're not going to be too exact. Again, let's get it close. Oh, he's wanting to be weird. So grab it by the bottom. Boom. There you go. Alright, this guy's being weird too. Look at that. So let's fix that. There, I think that's probably pretty close. Looks like it. Look, pretty close spacing on either end. All chairs are on the floor. Okay, so now let's select, oh, I missed those. Let's get these guys and make it a component. And this will be 6-foot table with all chairs. So we can click this one, Insta-Info, 6-foot table with 4 chairs. We can click that, 6-foot table with all chairs. Then we can hit this one, 6-foot table, 6-foot table. See, those are the same. So now in your model, let's go ahead and save that again. Yes, purge. You're purging like little pieces that when I exploded those and pulled just the chairs out off of that flat rectangle it was sitting on, there can still be some little invisible parts that are hanging out in your model you want to get rid of. So I just got rid of those by purging. So cool, you're going to walk into this event space, into these doors. You're going to visualize your buffet setup over here or across the very back. You've got these tables now that you've created. So by using just one table, you now have 3 variations of that table in components to use for your event. And you don't have to move the chairs every single time. You just grab and move this one component and put it where you want to. You want to rotate it, hit Q, get your dial to be blue. Boom. Now you're rotated. And that is the basis of making your floor plan template. One more thing I would do, let's move this back over here. Go back a little farther. Okay. I'll usually put my tables over here like this. So let's point to that. Control copy, Control V. And see how it kind of snaps? Control V. Let's say you have 5 sets of these. Control V. And Control V. Okay, so we're selected on that entity. There's 6 in the model. Calls, what is it also counting? All right, that's got 1 of those, 4 of those. Oh, maybe I do have 6 of these. All right, so now we're going to drag these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I have 5. So you'll run into this sometimes. You'll get an incorrect count of some of these things. You see, I've definitely got 5. Moving those around. Yeah, I haven't quite figured that out. 6-foot table, 4 chairs. This says, entity info says 6, but we really only have 5. Wait a minute. Duh. No, that's with all chairs. That's only showing 1. That's showing the correct number, 4. All right, well that gets a little tricky, but we know that we actually have 5 of these tables drawn in here. Let's move that over. Move that. So yeah, sometimes you may just have to count and know. And I believe it's showing the extra count on this 6 instead of 5 because we started it from these lifetime tables. So I think it's counting one of these as an extra, or it might be counting this as part of this, which that's actually probably what it's doing. So let's check this out. Control copy, Control V. Let's put that over there. So now we know we have 2 of those. Okay. We're showing 2 there. Did this go up to 7? It did. Okay. So that's what it's doing. So because we started with this table and made that table from it, we're getting an incorrect count. We actually have 5 stacked here. We do have 4 of those. There's 3 more over here. And we have 2 of those right there. So I forgot about that little thing. If you start with a component, with a model, you need to click and make it unique first before you make your other model. So that's what I didn't do. So just a little lesson there. But now, guys, you're going to have all of your tables and chairs, and you can stack them like I've got here. I have 5 here in this stack, and then you can just drag and drop. These can go end to end because there's no chairs on the ends. Okay, put those guys right there, and you can move all of your tables into your event space. Just like that. That way you're not pulling more tables than you have. okay? And when you work with your template, just know, hey, I did a stack of 5 here. So if this event space only has 5 tables, they can't like do these 5 plus more of these plus these. No, they only have 5 tables. So I would stack 5 of these with no chairs, do a stack of 5 with 6 chairs, and a stack of 5 with 4 chairs. And as the planner, if you only have 5 tables, you only have 5 tables. But in your drawing, you have multiple variations for setting out those 5 tables. So alright guys, that's about it for showing you how to work with SketchUp to do a really quick and easy floor plan template. Now we do these floor plan templates professionally. We'll come to your space and measure it for you, draw it out, give you details like windows and doors, even columns, restroom entrances, kitchen entrance, whatever you have, we can put it in the model. And we can do way more than just tables and chairs. So check us out at murplan, MURPLAN.com, and give us a shout. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this video helped you.